Hi, welcome to Amanda's Kitchen. Hi, welcome to Amanda's Kitchen. Today we'll be featuring tamarind, cheesecake, and we'll also be doing tamarind balls. So today we're gonna start off with our tamarind cheesecake. All right, so we're gonna get our batter and everything ready. All right, so today we have our baking tin, we have our cream cheese. We're gonna use 1 pound cream cheese. We have our vanilla for flavoring. We have our sugar and 2 eggs. Now before we start the batter, we need to do the crust for the cheesecake. All right, now there are a number of crusts that you can use. You can use graham crackers, you can use Fosco oats, you can use Oreo, you can use just about anything that comes to mind for you to do a crust. Today I'll be doing the crust using oats. I'm gonna mix that up with a little sugar and a little vanilla flavoring with about a teaspoon or so of butter and combine all of those. And that's how we're gonna make the crust today. So let's get crusting. So depending on the side of your baking tin, that's how you will measure out your crust. Alright, so I'm just gonna use this oats just to coat the bottom of the baking tin. That's roughly half a cup of oats. We're gonna add to that two tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and a half a tablespoon of room temperature butter. So you're getting the butter at room temperature because this is what will combine all your ingredients for your crust. You just want to mix that around so that the oats is nice and coated. Just gonna add a tad bit more of vanilla. And a quarter teaspoon more of butter. So now everything is just about coated. So you want to use your tool just to ensure that the bottom of your baking tin is quite coated and you're no longer seeing the bottom of the baking tin. All right, so you want to spread that evenly. All right, so our tin is quite coated, and now we're going to go on to our batter. Now you have the option of leaving this as is and then pour it in the batter, or you also have the option of putting it into the preheated oven and give it about a few minutes just so that it can harden up. But I will not be doing that today. All right, so we'll just go on to getting our batter mixed. So just put that aside and just let me quickly rinse my utensils. All right, so we have our crust ready and it's time to get to our batter. So here I said before we have a pound of cream cheese. You can use Philadelphia cream cheese or whatever you can find in whichever part of the world you are watching. All right, so we want to get squashing with our cream cheese. You can do this by hand, you can do it by mixer, but because it's just a small amount of batter, we're just going to use our whisk to get everything squashed out. Squashed. So you want to ensure that your cream cheese is at room temperature. That way it's easier to handle. Alright, so you want to scrape down the sides of your bowls as you go along. We're almost there. Work them hands. So you want to get it to a point where there's no lumps in your cream cheese. We're almost there. All right, so our cream cheese is nicely squished. And so we're gonna add our sugar. Now I'm using brown sugar, however, you can use white sugar. I just prefer using brown sugar. So go ahead and dump all that in, and you're gonna go ahead and mix that in. That was about half a cup of sugar. So half a cup of sugar to 1 pound of cream cheese. You want to mix that in. Mix it real nice. While you're doing this, our oven is already preheated, but you want to preheat your oven to 350 and go ahead and get your batter mixing. Work them muscles. This is an exercise. Remember, you don't have to do this by hand. You can use your KitchenAid mixer or your handheld mixer. All right, so you can see that our batter is well mixed. Cream cheese and sugar. All right. Now we're gonna add in 2 eggs. In we go, number 1. You want to mix that thoroughly. You know the eggs help to bind everything together, the sugar and your cream cheese. So you want to mix that real nice. Ensure that your egg is properly mixed out. Now, unlike every other cake or most cake, with cheesecake, you don't have to worry about over mixing. All right, so one egg down, one more to go. You want to break your eggs in a different container because you want to ensure, eggs can go bad. So you want to ensure that the eggs are good before you enter it into your products. All right. And in goes the second one. And you continue mixing. So after you add your eggs, you're going to go ahead and add, because it's tamarind cheesecake, we're going to go ahead and add a half a cup of our tamarind juice, tamarind drink. And the tamarind will give it that zing, that tartiness. All right, so we go in with that and just give it a mix. Give it a nice little mix. Mix, mix, mix. Mix, mix, and mix. All right, at this point you want to add, you don't know if you may want to add a little more drink to it to give it a little extra zing. So we're going to taste that. Just going to go ahead and add some more tamarind drink to that. That makes it about a 3/4 of a cup. So our batter is nicely mixed. We're gonna go ahead and add in a teaspoon of vanilla extract. If you have vanilla bean, that's fine. Go ahead and use it. We're just gonna mix that up. All right, guys, all our ingredients are now ready. So we're just gonna move all of the unwanted ingredients out of the way right now. All right, so right now we have our crust, we have our batter, and we have our bain-marie. What is a bain-marie? A bain-marie is really a fancy name for a water bath. And what's that? It's a bigger container than the one that you're gonna put your batter in. So you wanna put some water in your tin or your pan, whatever it is that you're using, and then you want to put your batter mixture in that. What it does is it doesn't give you a brown crust, a brown sides for the cheesecake or brown tops. It's quite clear. All right, so that's good, but it's optional. You can do without it, but tonight we're not gonna do without it. We're gonna use our bain-marie. So we have our batter or crust. Now what we're gonna do is use a spatula to get all the mixture out. You don't want to leave anything to waste. You want to ensure everything comes out. Don't be wasting your money. Ensure everything comes out. Look at that. Look at that. Tamarind cheesecake. Well, this is a tamarind batter. Everything is in. Work your spatula. Hit every corner, every crease, and every crevice. right, so you want to just give your pan a tap so that everything or every bubble comes out and it's quite even. You're gonna go ahead and put your batter in your bain-marie. Now you're gonna put this in your oven. You're gonna put this in your oven for 35 to 40 minutes or until you test it and none of the batter comes on your fingers, quite smooth and ready. Right, after that 35 to 40 minutes, what you're gonna do, you can leave it in the oven to get to room temperature, or you can take it out of the oven to get to room temperature, and after that you can put it in your refrigerator so that it can set quite nicely and be ready to be garnished. So into the oven we go. All right, guys, so our tamarind cheesecake is in the oven. All right, now we're just gonna take a sip of our tamarind juice, refresh ourselves. Absolutely delicious. All right, so our cheesecake is in the oven, and the next item that we'll be doing today is tamarind balls. So in our container here, we have some tamarind. This is about a pound, and so we're gonna use our spatula and just try to separate the tamarind here. So for tamarind balls, your main ingredients are tamarind, of course, and sugar. You can use brown sugar, you can use white sugar, but in Jamaica we use brown sugar. Right? So we're gonna add our sugar. This is about a half a cup of sugar. And in you go with your hands, or if not, you can use your spatula to kind of get things mixed in. But I prefer to go in with my hands. Now, when you're preparing this, or when you're preparing any food at all, you need clean hands and you need a clean heart. And when you cook with love, the food tastes so much better. All right, so we're gonna go in with our hands and just get the sugar incorporated in our tamarind. Now, in this process, some of the seeds may come out. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. All right, so you're gonna go in like with a kneading motion to get your sugar incorporated in your tamarind. All right. Now to this, you can use it as is, to roll your balls, or in Jamaica, we're known for our rum. So you can add about a tablespoon of rum to this, or you can add some pepper. You can use country pepper, or you can use buttered pepper. All right, so I'm going to use a little buttered pepper just to give it a little kick. But if you have children, you can't do pepper. You can't do rum. So this too it can be a nice little appetizer. Nice little thing to munch on, especially if you like tangy or sour things. This is one good option. All right, so our sugar is nicely mixed with our pepper and our tamarind. All right, I'm just gonna add a bit more sugar to that and continue kneading. So you want to coat your hands in some sugar, and you want to take off your sizing your balls, and just roll them in the palm of your hand. So you're going to do a palm roll. That's your tamarind ball. And we repeat the step. Coat your hands in some sugar, and in your palm you roll. And we repeat the steps until we're finished. All right, so we're on our last ball. We're on our last ball. All right, so if you want to go ahead and re-roll just to get a bit more sugar, that's fine. But that's it for us today. And so now we're gonna plate our balls just to show you how it looks. And there you have it. Tamarind balls. Tamarind balls, really delicious. The pepper gives it like a new burst of flavor. It's really good. Tangy, but it's really good. Tangy, sweet, spicy, absolutely delicious. All right, so the cheesecake has been baked, cooled, and set. Our tamarind balls are now ready. And so we have a slice of cheesecake right here that we're just gonna decorate to show you. All right, so we also have some tamarind sauce right here that we're gonna just pour over our cheesecake. And we're gonna decorate and serve. So right now I have some icing. You can use whatever icing you have, frosting, icing, store-bought, made from scratch, whichever one you have. Feel free to use that. So we're just dropping some dollops of icing, just one in the middle, like that. I'm gonna drizzle some of the sauce over the cheesecake. You don't want to do too much because it's very sour and tangy, so you don't want to overpower your palate. So just drizzle some over your cheesecake.
Put a tamarind ball right on your dollop, like that. You can get fancy with this. Get fancy and create whatever style you want.
There you have it, tamarind cheesecake and tamarind balls from Amanda's Kitchen. If you have been enjoying our episodes and you would like to see more and partner with us, we invite you to do so. Please email us at info@imremnantja.com, or you can WhatsApp or call us at 876 781 4950.